Welcome, everybody, back to another Shadow of Israphel, the most shadowful episode that there's yet been. We are directly under the shadow now.
I thought you were doing the Smash song.
Yeah, I was, and I forgot how to do it. That's how I feel.
It's true, we are directly in his shadow now.
We are right in the shadow. There's some sinister events happening.
Literally the shadow of Israphel
It's
right now.
unlucky episode 13 of the podcast. Something
Oh.
scary is happening.
I'm sorry I lied about the number last time.
Yes, it was. Last
11
time
the
was
sequel,
episode 12. It was episode 11 too.
Yeah, man.
Scared and frightened
11T1, bro.
I feel some small need to pose the question at the start of the video of whether we should do the fucking Survival Island, but the episode where I asked that hasn't come out yet even, so
Yeah.
I should probably just wait.
Oh,
But I should say, for everyone here, next week would be the last one of the original series. We're almost to the finale.
Oh
And
boy.
you can really tell that the stakes are
The
amping
stakes
up.
are raising.
It went
Oh.
crazy.
the stakes.
These episodes did go crazy.
It is.
Gina,
First
should I-
one up.
Should I tattle on myself?
If you want to.
don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to talk about how you just watched them just now. It's fine. The first one that Wirt just watched was part 24, Troubling Events in Terrorvale.
Blah.
Ooh.
It's 3.1 million views. I keep mentioning every single time, but each time I'm shocked at the discrepancies in view count. Is it what weird percentage of people watch one episode? I'm I'm not really interested in the next one, or what ones go? Okay, I didn't watch the last one, but I'm gonna tune into this one. It doesn't make sense to me. That's why I'm not an executive or something. I can't make sense of it.
Yeah.
Literally.
The description was another one that I wrote down again because it reads, William Riker and his dwarven pal continue to assist some strange people that have made their home on the server. Which
Strange folks.
Strange creatures.
It's so good.
leaning into the prevailing theory that these are just freaks who are acting like NPCs.
It's so good. I love them selling it as both kind of it just sort of happens, and the way they act towards it is just very oh, I guess this is happening. And then
Yeah, they don't show too much resilience. Lewis, this episode opens up. Last time, they had just asked about the priest's, the Reverend's son, Israphel, who died. They were trying to ask Old Peculiar for more information when the game crashed.
Ooh.
They disconnected from the server, so this episode Lewis has to load back into the server, showing the IP
Yeah,
on
showing
screen
the
again.
IP.
IP leak again.
For any interlopers who want to jump on and have some fun. But only the 25 people in their Hamachi friends list can jump on. So it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
As soon as they jump back in, Old Peculiar says, "Welcome to the Skeletal Arms," which is presumably the scary name of the delightful inn in the
Yeah,
Happy Hamlet.
I remember seeing it on the sign in the episode where they first got there. It
It was there all along.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
I thought he
It had
was
a
just
little
trying
sign
to
on
scare them.
He's just being funny.
I noted
some
it
reason.
down in my notes from last time because, I don't know, this one and something that will come up in this episode, something had my ARG senses tingling, even though I know that, I don't know if that's what's happening.
Literally.
Is this an ARG?
Is this a
It could
ARG?
be.
I online
an
too
SMP
much.
I feel like in some sense, they were arguing Simon. They were doing it to him.
His
That's
own
not called an
personal...
ARG. That's called lying to your friends.
The primordial ooze.
I like arguing as a what is it, adverb?
A verb!
I'm arguing now.
Verb,
Oh,
yeah,
are
thank
you
you.
arguing me?
Are you arguing right now?
Arguing me
Seriously?
right now? Did you wait not to react to your friends coming out? Are you arguing me right now?
I like the idea it's not an ARG, but it is ARG. It's a disgruntled square.
Pirate!
Yarg.
Happy Pride Month to
Happy
the
Pride
ARG.
Month.
Yarg.
So Lewis says, "What if he gave us some tainted pork? I'm not sure we should be eating this, Simon." As if the game crash was caused by poison.
I do like the
Poisonous
idea that
pork.
Pork hit so bad they just passed out and woke up.
Head, like, tell us more about Israphel. Head slam on the table. And old Peculiar robs them. And then
That's so
they wake back
scary.
up.
That's really funny. I love that.
Look, what choice do we have, Lewis? What choice do we have? Simon says in such a defeated
Such a
tone
solemn-
that Lewis, like, cracks up.
It's so good.
It's really good.
So Lewis, he admits he's feeling a bit healthier after the pork. It was probably not tainted.
Right.
Yeah.
But Simon's feeling a bit worried because there are so many zombies in that house. There were many. They were tasked to go into the house of the Reverend John to reclaim his Bible, but there was like a dungeon under his house and zombies pouring forth, and it was scary.
Yeah, it was fucked up. If I walked into a house and that happened to me, I would simply also walk away and I would never talk about it
That's
again.
true. I would also leave and go drink some milk and eat some pork.
Literally.
Sorry, he only had water at this point. He didn't have any milk.
Plum out of
He
milk.
had some buckets of water that you can't drink. Lewis goes back to Daisy Duke's shop to get the pork steak he was cooking in her furnace without permission.
Stop
before
stealing her
realizing-
furnaces!
Yeah, back in that episode where like Simon was saying he Peculiar cooks them for us, Lewis was like shoving pork in the furnaces and like not processing that the NPC was doing it for them.
That was so funny.
He's just so obsessed with control.
He's obsessed with control!
He blows out a shaky, scared, like, about how many zombies were in the house. But he says he and Simon might be able to handle it. Simon reflects on how strange it was, how they asked about the son Israphel, and they got disconnected just at that exact moment. That's the spookiest thing about that, he says.
Crazy.
Scary.
It was.
And you know, to their credit, like the way that Old Peculiar hasn't like continued the conversation or brought it up at all almost makes it seem like the disconnect was like a scripted storytelling device and not just a random coincidence.
I almost thought it was
don't know,
because
though.
no one else had to join in. It just looked like it just popped
Yeah,
up.
I
with
think
how
it's
they did this, so-
amazing timing. I think that was just like a weird thing.
Yeah.
Though I do imagine that like they probably would have had to get the NPCs on first so that they didn't see like blank has joined the game.
Israphel has joined the game.
That was
That would be scary.
Yo, Reverend,
Herobrine
what's
has joined
up?
the game. It's getting late in Terrorvale. Lewis asks where Daisy's gone, but Simon says maybe she's gone to bed.
She's
And they're
probably
like, when's she
fine.
gonna give us some like armor? And then checks in the chest, and there's 2 pieces of diamond armor in the
She did
chest.
Yeah!
Like, not really enough to go around because there's just a chest
Yeah.
plate and pants. There's no boot, helmet, and there's only one like incomplete set. There's not 2 sets for 2 people.
Yeah.
This is an adventure meant for one player, but they're doing co-op, so the rewards aren't going to be as good.
Yeah.
Oh, and 1 sword is also in the chest. There's a diamond sword too.
One
Lewis-
diamond sword.
Yeah. Lewis says that he'll take the sword, and Simon uses his bow and arrow, which he does not have, and he has already told Lewis he doesn't have, and has made a point of the fact he didn't even bring a sword in the previous
It's so
episodes.
funny. Raw
Lewis is
dog
about
in
to
it.
put the sword into his crafting square for some reason.
Yeah! I noted
When
that
Lewis-
too.
When Lewis learns that Simon doesn't have Brain's bow, he makes another Muppet noise. He goes, "Ah!"
It's really
It's
good.
the noise of Lewis's
The
distress.
Muppet noises.
Then,
Oh.
right, Simon says, dude, I didn't know we'd be going on such a grand adventure. In his defense, he didn't know.
The old,
could he?
the old diamond armor sprite. Oh. It's just
I
a,
literally don't even notice these
so
things.
good.
it's just a wee bit different, but like, oh.
For me,
love
I don't
his diamond
notice.
pants.
But it's
The
like it's the
diamond.
memory. I just remember. I just feel it in my soul.
It's
Simon
diamond
walking
pants.
out in his diamond pants, Old Peculiar says, you look
You look
fabulous.
fabulous.
Which they both laugh a lot, and Honeydew even thanks him in character. Lewis is feeling a little more confident. He's moving Pork into his hot bar, prepping for the epic dungeon raid. How to the house on the hill.
Yeah.
Yogscast tutorial.
Literally.
Run new raid.
I was actually thinking just beforehand, before he opened the chest, about the fact they were doing all this with absolutely no armor and never crafted any armor with the
Yeah.
iron they mined or anything. Just
Yeah.
freeballing it. It's
Free ballin'.
it's insane with how like we on our server nowadays, like we always have to have armor on, like all the time.
You'll
Like why would
die.
you ever not be wearing armor in Minecraft?
I get freaked out
Why
when I
didn't you
don't.
make armor?
Right before the "you look fabulous" comment, I have the note of "put on your big boy pants." God, put on-
please, everyone share your notes in these moments.
Yes,
Goose
I-
and laughs.
I would like to say the note of Lewis now just has the fucking... The mental image of Lewis with a diamond sword is an equivalence... It is equivalent to Lewis just having a fucking gun to me. Because he wields it as such.
He does use it with extreme prejudice.
He does!
The
He
undead
does.
horde who they fight.
the scary.
What notes did you have here?
So mean. Honestly, I was just honestly quietly watching this in the background, and I was just kind of enjoying the whole thing. I was just like entertained.
Something's happening.
Something's happening.
It's
The story
unraveling.
is becoming something, and
It's
I like
becoming
it.
Something.
Because it's kind of that part where in like it's either like a TV show or the thing where people are just starting out fucking around and then something comes out of it and there becomes like the
Red versus
storyline.
blue.
Why would you say that to me? Because I was gonna say that. Fucked up.
The
I mean,
thing,
maybe I
that's the
was gonna make
thing.
that point, huh?
That's the thing
I was-
about
That's
it.
it.
It's
they're
literally.
just
It's the
doing
moment
shit.
from the Snapcube dub where it's like all this big crazy like ruckus, and then all of a sudden it goes dead quiet, and somebody goes, "Something just happened."
Help.
Something just happened.
Because we have like a plot line, things are connecting, they're now convening old jokes and other stuff they did within this playthrough a little bit to their advantage now, where they're sort of using like already established things in Minecraft and what they were doing in it to now this plot that their friends are, I'm pretty sure, just fucking with them at this point. Like, the way that Old Peculiar walks around and acts with them is so fucking funny, because
really
God,
good.
the acting in these
Oh, it kills
episodes
me.
is so like the character acting for the NPCs.
Top
is
notch.
so
it's so
awesome.
good. It's
Oh,
so
man.
good.
Right. So Lewis, in his inventory rearrangement, horrible inventory management. Again, a lot of comments about Lewis's horrible inventory management being the most stressful thing in this whole adventure.
Yeah.
He
It's-
accidentally
yeah.
throws an empty bucket at Old Peculiar, who picks it up. He apologizes in a very humble and awkward way, as if he like stepped on his toe in real life or something.
It's so
And he's just
funny.
like, that's probably his glass anyway. Actually, now that I think about it.
So
Probably
good.
Simon notices that there is a crypt next to the church, which explains all the monster noises they heard. I wonder what might happen in that crypt. So they climb the stairs back up. Simon is wearing diamond pants, and Lewis is wearing diamond armor. Later on, he says he looks like a pimp in this.
Oh yeah, that's...
Wow.
No,
That was one of my notes.
I look
Yeah.
like a fucking Terminator.
Terminator and a pimp is wild.
Two very,
Very
interesting
different.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really make that off. He hasn't even really taken it in yet. But so they go into the house. They climb the stairs in, and there's a zombie coming up from down in the cavern up at them, and he instantly attacks Lewis. But he takes minimal damage thanks to his diamond chestplate.
hell yeah.
And they're
Hell
dying more
yeah.
easily with his diamond sword. Like Mill
Yeah.
said, he's shooting them in
Yeah.
the head.
Exactly. Yes, thank you.
Exactly.
Even Old Peculiar is here to help.
I love Old
Yeah.
Peculiar. My actual favorite character.
True.
Old Peculiar is such a fun guy
Old
because you can tell.
pendulum or whatever the fuck people
Oh,
were
yeah,
saying in the
oh
I love
comments.
their pendulum.
Old
Penduloid.
pendulum.
And-
We're just looking at old comments on like the thing that stores them, and people kept like weirdly misspelling his name. It's like,
Completely
what-
differently, not
what's
even
wrong
the
with
same
you?
letters.
It's typed out on screen in every scene that he's in. It's floating above his head.
Old
So
Pendulum, Old Pendolium.
Old pendulum.
Pendulum.
Poor old pendulum.
What the
Aw,
fuck
poor
is
Poindly
wrong with
Donk.
that? Please be nice to Old Peculiar, man. For
Old
real.
Peculiar
Come
is
on.
great because he's the first character and he has to be kind of like the main character's besties, so he kind of like not changes what he does, but like basically like he's the neutral one, so any character can have like a gimmick, but his has just been like kind of just been chilling out, like, hey, welcome to fucked up scary world. I can be your friend.
You want some
You want some
milk?
Have some
You want
fun.
some
You want some
milk?
milk?
You want some work?
Yeah.
Want some
So
word?
They hack and slash downward. Simon takes much more damage because he stands right there in front of the dungeon, batting at zombies with his iron sword, not letting the guy with the diamond sword take point for mysterious reasons that only Simon knows.
Mysterious reasons.
Lewis doesn't want to risk hitting Simon in the back of the head with his gun.
Yes,
bad news. Can you imagine if they died and had to walk all the way down that fucking path again from their spawn?
Oh,
Can you
my
imagine if that
God.
happened?
I would cry.
The corpse run to end all corpse runs.
God,
Oh
that
my
would be
God.
just... And all the killer would be like, you fucking died!
What the fuck just
Literally.
happened?
Something just happened.
And then they have graves in the little funny place.
They have graves.
That would be
No,
crazy
they
as fuck.
died. You have to re-roll characters.
Yeah.
So there's a spawner inside the
Yeah.
dungeon. I know that it doesn't have the spinning creature inside, but that might just be how they looked back in the day. I don't think.
I'd
maybe
imagine.
like you just couldn't fucking tell what it was in the old days. It was a surprise.
It could be anything.
I think at this point I'm like, so there's this dungeon. It's definitely probably man-made. I think at this
Yeah.
point they have gained the ability to cheat because like the diamonds that were so close
Oh,
to the
absolutely.
surface and the dungeon that's so close to the surface.
Which I find really cool still, honestly.
Yeah, it's it helps them to tell stories. We're in the business of storytelling, son.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we are.
They break it fastly and goodly. Simon's still using his sword instead of a pickaxe,
It
but
hurts
luckily
so bad.
Lewis was mining it, so it's fine. And they've saved the day. Huzzah!
Yay, huzzah!
They help themselves to the chest, which mostly contain gunpowder and redstone and iron.
Oh, but
Not great treasure.
Great.
I genuinely do not remember if this was like something we brought up or if this is just the first time I've noticed it or what. But gunpowder is just called sulfur. Was this an old Minecraft thing? I feel
Must
so...
have been.
Oh, I didn't even notice that was
Yeah.
called sulfur.
They called it sulfur and it was named sulfur and it messed me up because it's like... Is this
I
an
think
old
I
Minecraft
remember
thing?
that.
I wonder if maybe that's what it was called, or maybe it's a British-English thing.
That's
In the
Probably.
also...
That'd be
It
crazy.
sounds like it would be.
That's also what I just don't know. It scared me.
That's scary, I don't know.
That's so funny.
Wasn't there supposed to be a book in here, Luz remarks, and they wonder maybe if it's further down. But further down is just completely natural cave with a water flow and gravel and nothing that looks structured. Luz is getting nervous. It's supposed to be in the house, not in the cavern beneath the house. I don't think we should go down there.
And the house like carpet, bro.
He was
Simon
right.
wonders if maybe they're missing something, but they return to the house upstairs and there's not a lot of room to hide anything. It's a 5x3 interior.
Yeah.
Like there's
Quite small.
no chest. There's just 2 burning blocks of wood surrounded by mossy cobblestone.
It's
Will
so...
Peculiar says there are many deadly caverns under this town.
Many
Yeah,
such
Thank
deadly
you.
caverns.
I wrote, I guess that's why it's called Terrorvale. Why do you live here?
I'm just going all crazy right now, just saying comments before we get to the section we usually talk about them. Someone in the comments said that apparently they were meant to go further down and there were more dungeons even further in the cave. And Old Peculiar was trying to guide them there. I was trying to help
he was
them.
trying so
He
hard.
was giving them tips.
Many
That's
such
so
deadly
funny.
caverns.
The ignored
Yeah.
tutorial NPC, many such
It's
cases.
Yeah.
true! Oh, he's literally just like Toriel from Undertale in every way.
In every way.
Including the
Old
fucking
tutorial,
martyr
bro.
complex.
Yeah.
They decide they should go back to the Reverend and ask him about it, since they're just
Oh.
fucking around and fumbling and
Being
flopping and
scared.
dropping it. Simon tries to fish for info from Old Peculiar by saying it isn't in the house itself, with no punctuation or even talking about what they're specifically talking about or looking for. But Lewis walks into the church. The door's been left open,
Oh.
which I think is a storytelling thing. I don't think that's Lewis leaving the door open.
Literally.
He finds it deserted. Oh, for goodness sake, he's not here either! Ah!
I love hearing your voice doing this thing because sometimes I will just watch the actual episode and I'm like, you did that spot on. You did that spot on.
That's what it
Yeah.
sounds like. Such a fun...
Gina's,
Ah!
Gina's a really good voice actress.
It's a Muppet.
Hey guys,
Simon and
she's
Lewis
like
could
good
be
at
such
acting
great
or
Muppets.
something.
Why weren't they ever on the
That's
Muppet
true.
Show?
Yeah, for
They
real.
were born
oh my God.
too late.
Born too late.
Born too late to explore. Jim Henson.
Born just in time to do
so-
Minecraft.
Yeah, they were truly born just in time, actually. Old Peculiar says maybe the zombies destroyed it. And Honeydew says, that would be awful.
Zombies
Then-
tearing up a Bible.
Then
That's
Lewis
an album
turns
cover.
and sees Rev's nameplate in the crypt under the church. Or he sees it in the floorboards, but
Oh.
that could only mean the crypt.
I
I don't know if we should pry, Lewis.
I might be a bit hasty on this, but I need to share my note on this, which is Reverend John Scare.
True! True, that is what's coming up. Simon
Reverend
first says,
John
I don't know if
Scare
we
is
should
so
pry.
funny. It literally was.
Which
John
is definitely
Ward.
that's definitely true considering it's not very tactful to go in when
Yeah.
you think about how he's never been the same since his son died. So
Yeah.
I don't know why Lewis would even think to intrude on him in the crypt.
Quite rude.
But Old Peculiar suggesting that John might be in the crypt only cements their next move.
Dun, dun,
Honeydew
dun.
and Zephos enter the crypt. It's
Whoa.
dark, cobblestone. Lewis says, hang on, get your sword ready. He's so paranoid. Come on, man, this guy's grieving. Why are you acting like you're walking into a Dark Souls boss
Yeah.
room?
Hiding behind
Jesus,
him as he goes down the steps.
He's in there. He's in the crypt.
I love the way
Standing
he's
there.
so like.
He's standing
Like-
there looking down at one of the
It's
caskets.
like they can hear him at all. It's so good.
Simon then gets distracted and starts reading names on the caskets. Bishop Mendip Wilhelmina Olbus. Rev John then does a slow, dramatic, scary
slow turn.
turnaround. But
It's
because
so good.
Simon's reading the signs looking away, he doesn't notice until he looks back and finds John staring directly at him. And it startles him backwards.
It makes me laugh so hard the way he just screamed.
So funny.
That was the John scare.
Like, oh.
Ah!
Yeah,
It's
John
the
Scare.
John scare, bro.
Rev John goes, what?
He is
Honey,
just as shocked as they are.
Honeydew says, hi, as Simon cries and panics in real life.
It's really good. I love when he get panicked over this stuff
It says,
because
talk to him, and then Lewis looks to his left to read a sign that says Baron Smedlington. These names are crazy. Who are all these freaks?
this is so normal. This is just normal
Uh,
to the Joker.
Old Peculiar sounds normal compared to these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To Israphel,
Baron
that's just old
Smedlington.
normal.
Alternate universe where Baron Smedlington welcomed them to town.
Help! I would love
Uh,
that.
So Reverend John asks, "You've returned?" Seemingly shocked to see them. Honeydew informs them that they had no luck finding his Bible. And then Reverend John says, "My lord told me I would not see you again. Taste my holy blade." And, he takes out his golden
Gold
sword. He starts
sword.
kicking Simon's ass.
Yeah.
I was literally like death gripping on
He's
call.
gone
Oh
mad.
god!
He's gone mad.
Yeah,
And
maybe
Lewis
go
walks up
insane.
and
Yeah.
right to the fucking
One
cuts
swipe
his head off in a
sword.
single swing.
Hey,
Ice blade shall cut
remember-
me
John
down.
explodes.
you remember on one of the previous episodes where I talked about, like, listening to my own background music to supplement the lack of background music in certain parts? You know what soundtrack I was listening to at that part?
What?
Ultra Kill.
Ultra kill. Fucking that. It was a Dark Souls boss fight. It was,
Yeah.
except Lewis had the fucking silver crystal.
Except he was super
sword.
over-leveled.
Lewis had the Moonlight Greatsword, so he took his head off with a single stroke.
Yeah, oh my
On
god.
a singular stroke.
He takes
My
his
partner's
two
gonna
gold
have fun
swords.
listening to this episode.
Truly.
So he's doing all of that as Simon is trying to like type and explain like what's happened. NPC breaking out of the conversation you're having to attack you is crazy.
It's literally so
With his golden sword, his holy blade. Oh my god.
And,
Scary.
and neither of them comment on it, but he also drops a book, which many people
Yeah.
in the comments say is his Bible.
That
Yeah.
proves it was a trick. He was lying to them.
The trickster.
And also, there's no kill message when he dies in chat.
That's
Also,
really-
That was
Yeah.
also. But then
there's
that,
no Zephos slayed Reverend John. It just his cold hard death.
So
Unless
maybe
Just
they,
makes it
wonder
all the more
then-
shocking.
if
all
that was
the
a
more
settings or
chilling.
what?
Yeah, it's probably like system like text messages are like turned off or something to focus on like
Oh, maybe.
like text RP probably.
I don't know. Maybe they just didn't exist back then. I don't know.
Shrug.
We've never seen Simon or Lewis kill each other, so we don't know. I guess now that we think about it, like we've seen like Honeydew has joined the game, but we've never seen like Honeydew was shot by arrow or anything in the chat. So even when moms kill them, like there's no message. So
Yeah.
Huh. No Honeydew tried to swim in lava.
Oh, that's true, actually, now that you think about it. So maybe that's
Guess that just didn't exist yet. That's crazy.
interesting.
So then Lewis sees what the Reverend was staring at. Oh my God, look at this. Look at what he's looking at. He points his attention to the coffin where Simon places a torch to reveal the name on the sign, Israphel.
Oh, that fucked me up.
It literally
Shout out to
was
Lewis
insane.
for pronouncing Israphel the correct way when he reads the
Yeah,
sign also.
Literally.
Fat lines.
The cask of Israphel.
So as they're like reeling from the shock, the dramatic reveal, Old Peculiar says, "John?" And they turn around to see him standing in the doorway with his wide, innocent eyes, looking at the corpse of his friend.
Is
Looking
insane.
at the corpse of the town priest.
They laugh. Old Peculiar! Oh no!
This
ran
episode was insane, honestly.
He ran into my sword 3 times.
Honeydew says, in chat, which is the best possible thing. He went mad and attacked us, says Zephos, using his exclamation mark. Honeydew shoulder on Old Peculiar. John went insane, friend. There's no other way to say
The
it.
silence as they're typing is palpable.
It's so funny.
So-
I love it.
So-
I love
It's so
the
fucking
difference
funny.
between them typing and also them speaking. It's really good.
Because
Yeah.
the characters can't just like hear them. That would break the illusion. And they have to
Yeah.
type. It's the only way to
Literally.
communicate.
This was long before the era of mods that would give you proximity chat.
No, it would break everyone's immersion. It doesn't break your immersion to be able to communicate in text to the NPC though, and have them understand you dynamically.
That was
That's-
still really
That's
funny.
normal.
though.
That technology existed in 2009.
Yeah.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about
totally.
it.
Also, Zephos throws in, also, where is Daisy? With another exclamation mark, not a question mark. And you just killed a man. Let's talk about that instead, Zephos. Come
Yeah.
on.
Killed a man. I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot.
Honeydew's like trying to be gentle about it. The grief of his lost son was too much.
Too much.
Really getting deep in character.
I'm a
feeling
Honeydew
a lot
head,
of
honest to God.
profound
He
feelings.
is a better role player so far than
He
Zephos
is a better.
That's
like,
true.
Zephos is just. He went mad and attacked us. Also, where is Daisy?
Daisy. Gotta get all my questions.
Daisy.
Gotta ask the
I
NPC
gotta
everything
get all my
now.
quests marked. God. What did you think about this like epic scene, Mill? Like the dramatic reveal and the combat.
I don't. This isn't going to be productive or anything, but again, it's just the mental image of Lewis's diamond sword being a fucking gun. It's just like this dude swinging a sword at Simon and then just bam, and it's
It's
just-
like it's
just
like a
happened.
fucking.
because he died in like one hit, yeah. Am I
Yeah,
remembering
he
that right?
pretty much died in a single hit because he doesn't. Obviously, Reverend John isn't wearing armor or anything.
Yeah.
He's a fucking old man. He died.
Just fucking
Oh
gone.
man, that's
He
crazy.
died badly.
Also, Old Peculiar is a gold mine of awkwardness. I love him.
Yeah.
It's the comedy, the physical Minecraft comedy of the actors and the looking around and shit is so.
It's
They
so good.
strike gold in these episodes. That's
It's
really crazy.
good.
I do note the dead air while they type all of this as they quietly look at each other and wait for Old Peculiar to reply. We hear sheep walking around and braying, intermittent spider noises. Old Peculiar eventually confesses that it was a bit weird how often he came down here.
I said, like, harsh, man. His son's grave is down there.
And he also
And
just
then-
died.
And then Simon goes, "Hey, Lewis," and he stands next to Israphel's casket with the torch. Then he sings, "And it seems to me that you lived your life like a candle in the wind."
So beautiful.
R.I.P.
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 Israphel.
Israphel.
And the
In
Reverend
the
Poor
John.
Israphel.
arms of
Israphel.
the angel.
So, So sad. They're just doing this while Old Peculiar is typing. Old Peculiar says he obsessed over his son's tomb. And then Lewis goes, What the fuck, Simon?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Why did he say that? He was just reacting what happened, I guess. After they took a moment to lighten things up with the Elton John reference, he's like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And they're, who is his lord? Notch, obviously. Notch told him that you were gonna die.
Literally.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then,
Here's an interesting development. I went to go turn my fan back on because I was hot again, and the knob to turn it on fell off.
Oh.
This is Israphel's doing!
No more fans.
He did this.
It's
Because we talked about him. It's because we talked about him.
no! Use the tweezers. You gotta turn it yourself.
So scary.
I'm still here. I'm just gonna be a little bit far away.
Okay.
Okay. What? Okay, it's like. Meanwhile, Lewis says, "I don't know who his lord is, but it's obviously not really Notch, because Notch would never condone such evil actions."
Yeah.
Don't. What? Okay, sorry. I was communicating to myself through my notes, telling me not to tell you something.
Really
Okay.
funny.
Cool.
You know.
The fan has been fixed.
Yay! Israphel was
Yay.
defeated today.
I
Hell yes.
defeated him.
Honeydew mentions how John talked about not expecting to see them again, but Old Peculiar is still in the Israphel's tomb dialogue string.
Help.
The
You're
poor
going so
lad, he
fast.
says. The poor lad.
Poor
The
lad.
thing is, isn't Israphel the... I mean, do we have to burn and salt his body or something? Supernatural style.
Maybe when I burn and salt his body, supernatural style.
True. I do this too.
Referencing
Yeah.
Supernatural, the hit TV show. Someone in the comments was like, wow, Lewis had good taste in TV shows. Cool.
You can hear the Radio Rebel hair tuck.
I don't know. Do we have a flint and tinder? They go straight to burning the grave of this poor young lad
Yeah.
instead of asking Old Peculiar what's happening. Which
Literally.
is pretty demented.
They're sick
Simon
in the
tells-
head.
Absolutely mental. Simon tells Lewis to keep talking to him as he runs off to find Flint and
Yeah.
Tinder. Old Peculiar looks around where Simon went and turns back to the grave. Lewis is not fucking saying
it's
anything.
so
He's doing
quiet.
such a shitty job.
The
Lewis
awkwardness.
sucks at doing anything Simon asks him to in terms of distracting Old Peculiar. It's a running theme that you will see. He cracks up and confesses that he doesn't really know what to say to him. And he's just sort of standing there while Old Peculiar is looking at the grave. He goes, okay, well, we'll see if we can set on fire. We'll see if we can set fire to it. Lewis walks out without even trying to engage with the NPC or ask questions or do anything of the sort. Worst POV character ever!
Help!
God.
Literally God.
First the hole, now this.
God, first the hole never went down, then just, Lewis, come on, man. Come on, you can do better than this.
Come on.
He steps outside. It's bright and sunny now after the dark things that happened in the night. Lewis says he's got enough pork. His armor's well durability. This is where he talks about looking like a pimp.
Yeah.
Old Peculiar says, you seemed surprised when I mentioned the sun. Have you heard about him before? And he walks out of the tomb to follow them after them on the surface. Zevos goes, yeah. Honey goes, we,
About
we've run
that.
into him before.
So funny.
We've seen him years ago. Honeydew types asterisk dramatic music asterisk into the chat. And then Zephos goes, not years ago, about half an hour ago,
Help!
earlier today.
Oh my god.
Then Simon walks up to Lewis and whispers, keep him busy. I'll go burn the body.
Yeah, while he's holding a flint and tinder.
Walks away. Old Peculiar says, impossible. He died 5 years ago.
Creepypasta.
Say something, Lewis. Do something. Say something,
to
Lewis.
the
Do it in the
Please,
chat
man,
room.
come
Do it. The splash screen's coming up, Lewis.
Lewis,
He's talking on Mike the
Lewis.
Old who can only hear him in the game. Text this for that
Lend me
fucking
a hand
kid
with
for
this,
fucking
Lewis.
real.
Come on.
Lewis, you're gonna blow the plan. Oh my god. So
It's
that's the
so-
end. Yeah, as I said, the splash screen comes up without Lewis having said anything.
It's
To his credit, when we come back, he said something, but like we don't know that yet. So I was mad.
The episode ended so suddenly that while I was watching it, I choked on my water. 'Cause I got jump scared.
literally so funny.
So, huge plot twist. The guy who's talking about Notch all the time is actually a bad guy.
What?
Really good. Honestly, really good.
Daisy's missing. Israphel's tomb has been discovered, and now we've learned maybe a little more about him. He died 5 years ago. Did Old Peculiar know him personally? Poor lad.
Poor lad.
Really great episode. Just, yeah, it's so great. First NPC death. The one commenter who wanted them to kill everyone will be pleased.
Yeah.
Good for them.
My only comments are, one person said that zombies used to have the same range of attack as players did, so that's how that zombie was able to hit Lewis.
Ah, wow.
And another applauds the acting at work with the body language of NPCs, like Rev's
Yeah.
slow turn and his
Yeah,
unsheathing
that
of his
was
sword.
really good.
Old Peculiar is so emotive as well. It's very...
Yeah.
He's got just like a good... It's like the fucking Disney mascots that are able to emote while having only one expression. It's like
Yeah.
that as a Minecraft skin.
Yeah.
Literally, you're right.
What do you guys think of this episode?
I have one comment, very important.
Yes.
Important.
Very much so, like, people who don't know how to play D&D running through a pre-made module energy. It's really good.
Literally.
They need, like, maybe they just need more people to get the conversation going. Like, they need an icebreaker as a third.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mostly have my old comments to give.
Oh,
I don't have a
yeah.
lot.
As someone who just watched it, how do you feel?
It was lots of fun to watch, honestly. I'm kind of bad with giving notes on the fly. Until, like, I was writing them. But I wasn't writing them down.
It's just interesting, yeah.
It's just, I like how, like, we have to fucking fight the Reverend, his son is dead, they're being possessed, there's so much going on, Daisy's missing, like, there's just so much lore happening. And you know what they were doing? They were building a tower, like, I don't know, a couple hours ago, like...
Dude, are they ever gonna get back to building the tower?
I hope so. That's what I'm watching this series for.
Help! So it's like, it's all just going off the rails, but not in a bad way, but like on a separate pair of rails, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Ross, the track is being diverted.
Yeah.
It's the trolley problem, but it's like one side is a Minecraft Let's Play, on the other side is a D&D campaign.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Ross, do you have notes for this? I feel like a lot of your arc talk might be coming from the second part. 'Cause I know things.
I think it is actually, because I wrote down a couple of things for that. But my main like closing note for that, other than the one that I said earlier, was that I choked on my water because the episode ended so soon.
It's scary.
It's scary.
Birch,
It's
Yeah.
so
any
scary.
comments about them building the Yaw Cave? Do people still remember the Yaw Cave?
Yeah, there are a few people who are like, man, I don't really like this. Why are they making it like this? When are they going to go back to building? It's boring now.
It's so
More
funny.
interesting.
I love Birch's old comment corner. This is a
Yeah,
good
what
segment.
else
My
we
old
got?
comment corner. I don't have too many. I guess in general, there are lots of people talking about the IP address and saying, well, maybe I'll take a peek onto your world. And then people, like 100 people replying to them saying, you can't do that because it's like encrypted on Hamachi.
It's true. Maybe I'll join the Israphel.
I literally pictured Scourge the Hedgehog saying that.
Yeah.
Joining the war on Israphel on the side of Israphel.
As for quoting
Oof.
direct comments, of course there's Old Man Pendolium.
Fucking old man Pendolium.
From Boss Boz, who asks, why is the dwarf such an asshole?
Whoa, he didn't even
No, he didn't even
that
do
mean
anything this episode. I don't
I'm
know
a
why
honeydew
he's
head.
so
Don't
full
say
of
this shit to
hate.
me.
He's so full of hate.
I mean, I guess he's trying to desecrate a grave, but listen, the guy deserved it. He shot arrows at them.
Real.
Yeah.
He shot arrows at them earlier that day, so it's only fair they desecrate his grave
Yeah.
that he's been buried in for 5 years.
And I got one more. This is from Bumpking4, who says, "So that's why the sun was so pale. We've got a ghost on our hands. Who do we call?" A reply that says, "Since it's Minecraft, ghost crafters." And then a different reply that says, "We should call the police."
That was really good.
These are all correct
that's-
answers. These are all right.
That's a real high note to end off the comment corner, and now it's time for the Yogtermission, which I have abused my authority as the person who came up with this idea to cut Milnak in line because I had a video I wanted to share.
I melt. I dissolve.
Wow.
That's
I
right, Milnak watched the whole video and took all the notes and didn't even know. I just told them right now. I'm using my authority. I'm a dictator.
I was about to tell you how to get power armor. Now we'll never know.
We'll never know how to get power armor.
The secret next episode that they have unlisted on their channel because Simon said a turbo slur in it.
It was 30 seconds this time.
Okay, well, I can't remember how I found this video. Never mind, I do now. It's because I was watching the Yogmobile is on fire out of curiosity, which Ross and also Birch did talk about. It was just in the suggestions, and the video titled instantly drew me in, and then watching the first few seconds, like 2 weeks ago, I was like, I have to use this. You have to make the next one do this.
Literally.
The video is called My Dad Comments on Borderlands. It was uploaded November 14th, 2009, a little over a year before the Minecraft Let's Play begins. It has 703,731 views.
Wow.
And the description reads, "First in a new series of incredible Yogscast productions."
Wow.
The video opens up with white text on a black background, 0 punctuation. So last week I sent a video of me and Simon playing Borderlands to my dad. This is the recording of the microphone feed from his computer. Which is, there's also Lewis's footage, but like there's no game audio, it's just from his dad's microphone. Let me take a drink.
Really good.
So personally, I've never, ever seen content on this channel featuring Lewis's dad, but since finding this video, I've learned that he is kind of a recurring character, like on the Jingle Jam stream.
Yeah.
That's
That's
awesome.
cute.
So we're greeted with a program called Game Ranger, which appears to be a multiplayer support thing. Lewis is using it to host a multiplayer game of Borderlands with Simon. "Welcome to Game Ranger," an older British man says. "Description, low. The description is, of course, lol. Actually,
Very good.
before Lewis changes it to hello. Did he intend to send this to his dad from the start? Is he saying hi to his dad, or hello to the audience, or hello to Simon? This just brings up
We'll never
many
know.
questions
Hi,
that I
Hi,
just
Mr.
don't
Dad.
know if we'll ever have an answer to. I love seeing all the Age of Empires games being hosted in the background with like foreign language descriptions and shit. That's so funny.
Yeah.
742 rooms open.
Awesome.
This is like a life before Steam. It's not even before Steam. It's just like coterminous with it.
Yeah, this is.
I don't know. I think Steam existed at that point.
Yeah,
Steam
Oh, yeah.
did.
Fine.
Definitely did.
It was just it wasn't as popular as like usually most sites or places just had their own sort of like web space or whatever to host other like
Yeah.
games on. Like there were a lot more chat stuff back then, but most people just
Yeah.
now just use Steam because it's easier and cheaper. I think.
Yeah. Lewis's dad says hello when the description changes, and then when he's making the room, he can see Lewis's user Zephos. He says Zephos. Press stop. Then Honeydew joins, and Lewis says, "Right, let's try this shit again." And his dad said, "This is like a list of something, some terrible language that I think came up. I'm not sure what you get." Lewis's dad, so it will become apparent, he just narrates everything he sees, even blank screen as the game launches.
Really good.
We see Claptrap on his back in the main menu. The man describes it as, "Right, this is some sort of funny equipment that's appeared off some alien spaceship. He's just reading text on the screen of like this arid badlands of like the mission select. It's like plot mission, fresh off the bus, headstone
So
mine,
good.
play game. It's all very complicated.
So
confusing.
very complicated.
It's a loading screen. Am I supposed to be seeing something? Loads in. Oh yes, a wind farm. It's a
yes.
windmill on screen. Someone's about to blow it up. It's Lewis with a rocket launcher out.
Really good.
No, someone's about to blow a man up. He turns to see Honeydew and points at him. It's so funny how he just describes what he sees. He has no reference for what's going on at all.
It's awesome.
It really feels like, just from your description and in my mind, like a nature documentary so far.
It
really
is a
good.
nature documentary. It's also funny. I describe him as our fellow audience member because he's as much viewing this as we are.
It's also
So
just the older British man voice that you're doing. I know it's to replicate specifically his dad, but with the added benefit of the added like caveat of this being like nature documentary like, I'm just like, ah yes, the Yogscast featuring David Attenborough.
there's a lot of comments about that I saw. So Lewis turns back to the wind farm and starts walking over as our humble narrator says, "So he's getting nearer to it, getting nearer to it, getting nearer to it, getting nearer to it. Is he going to shoot somebody, or is he going to shoot him? Is he going to break in, or has he got a gun powerful enough to... Ha! That's when the vehicle spawner menu appears in Borderlands. I've played Borderlands. It's been a very long time, but I remember, like, the vehicle shit. Lewis is spawning a car in for him. It's time to drive around in. Rocket launcher. Select color. Spawn vehicle. Teleport to driver's seat. Oh, nice. Some sort of vehicle. Appears to be a hover vehicle. There's nobody in it. There's somebody in front. What's this man supposed to be doing? Oh, he's getting in it. All right, off we go. It's so delightful. It's just...
It's like,
oh my god.
it's the British equivalent of the narrator from characters from Yonder website.
It's just the fact he's
All
just
right,
reading any
far
bit of
out.
text that appears on screen
So
or anything.
good.
He's so
It's
excited.
so funny. He's like not... He's not like a gamer. He has no reference for any of this.
Yeah.
It's just visuals that he's seeing. Lewis goes to pick up Simon. Then they quickly get out as soon as they get to this place. Lewis's dad is surprised to see that there were two men in the car. He couldn't see the driver, so he assumed that there wasn't one. So they're turning in a quest. In the nick of time, regrouped behind some character named Mad Mel. Too quick, I couldn't read it all. It's too quick. Oh, God. It's so weird not hearing Lewis and Simon.
Yeah.
It's that.
So
I,
funny.
this is such a funny concept. Lewis is a funny bastard for thinking of this. What a
Literally.
weird fucking video. Big game hunter. Big game hunter. Back to the robotic vehicle with a gun on it. Or rocket launcher or something. And Lewis turns and takes a huge jump off this ramp, and his dad goes, "Whee! Oh no, it's got rockets in it."
Oh, it's
This does so remind me of the way, like, my grandpa talks about things. I
Yeah!
guess as a child is, like, describing what's happening on the fucking Super
Literally.
Mario Bros. Super Show.
Yeah.
Super
there's-
Mario Brothers Super Show.
There's a VTuber that I watch named Rin Penrose, coincidentally also British, and she, as of recently, has made it a point to bring her mom onto more streams, which is really funny because they're in the same space. She's not like calling her mom and doing this. She's like in the same like room as her mom. So sometimes when Rin like gets up to do something, her mom will scoot over and like steal her like VTuber avatar from her for a little bit and be just like hi or whatever. But it's a similar, like what you're describing is a very similar vibe to like those sort of streams where she's like playing games with her mom or whatever, and I'm just like, oh man, that's the shit right there. Also really great timing for this recording of the podcast so soon after Father's Day.
Well, happy Father's Day to Lewis's father.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
So, off we go again. Yes, this is cross-country Don't know how we suddenly got past that wind farm, but into a pond, no water. What's this? And then there's like a cut. There's like a cut to something. I don't know if I think the whole video was cut, like his father and all, as they've like gotten to the place they're going to. It's some kind of boss arena they're gonna drop into. It's like a literal coliseum where they're gonna fight something. I see. This is where we are. Trouble. There's a sign that says trouble with an arrow pointing down. A big hole. Oh, well, down we go. Luce shoots something in the distance. I can't tell what it is. It's revealed later that it's a place where Simon is putting bait to draw out a creature. Strange. Seems to be various obstacles in the field. Something's on that wall, glowing. Honeydew is about to get to it. Now it's disappeared. So, what did he do to make that disappear? Now there's some animal. Seems to be a ferocious animal coming out of the cave, trying to shoot at it. Seems to be some sort of alien creature. Oh dear, blowing it up, are we? No, he keeps escaping. That's a big jump, I must say, crikey. Don't appear to be powerless against it. Even huge explosions. Oh, wait a minute, no. Has it been blown apart? No. It's walking over bombs and nothing appears to be happening to it.
Are you sure he's playing Borderlands and not Half-Life?
No, it's Borderlands. There's a big beat. Like, I can only imagine it's so loud and scary and there's like intense music playing, but it's all muted for us. Simon placed bait to draw out a Skagzilla, which is like a skag from Borderlands. It's a little gross reptile dog that has. This one's huge though, and it can shoot lasers out of its mouths. Not that Luce's dad ever comments on that. He's just surprised that it hasn't been blown up in a single explosion. There's a health bar on screen. He never realizes that is to indicate how lively the creature is. He never learns. He's always just like on the edge of his seat waiting to see if this time it works. He goes, gotta get nearer and nearer. Gotta keep reloading the gun and no, there it is. It's Skagzilla, apparently. Some names appeared on the screen. Yes, get your sight on it, zero in on it, send off some sort of rocket, blow it up. Yes, it seems to have almost disappeared in pieces. Oh, I keep thinking it's going to be wounded, but it isn't. Even if you fire into its mouth, it appears to be totally unharmed. Is it sad? I think it's sad to give up the fight for some reason. Getting near to it, frightening it away. Then the skag was like limping, but then it was like a feint. It pounces at Lewis. No, I thought we had it then. He's so invested. He thinks he's like one of them. It's so a huge jump. Whee! Boom. The skag is firing lasers. He didn't mention it. I don't know where they get all this ammunition from, because they never appear to be carrying all the ammunition. But I guess, even so, something appears to be happening. What's happening now? No, keep thinking it's going to be given up. What's happening now? He's very close to it. Sort of becoming a bit repetitive. This is guns keep firing. The animal keeps chasing the two people who appear to be in this arena. Some sort of a takeoff of a Roman Colosseum. Oh, he's fallen down. Suddenly, the animal seems to have given up. All sorts of lights appear from the ground. They appear to know where it came from. That seems to be it. The animal appears to be dead. And the video ends abruptly with the www.yogscast.com.
Yay!
Awesome! That's awesome.
So good.
The little lights on the ground are the loot dropping out of the beast, obviously. It's just he has no idea. He has nothing to compare this to. He's just describing it as if it's like really happening. It's just, oh my god. So funny.
As a non-Borderlands head, with the description of like the creatures jumping at him at like rapid speeds and all sorts of different like things, I am just picturing this in my head as Half-Life, like fucking head crabs launching at you, like Vortigaunts lumbering towards you.
There are a lot of
God,
similarities, at least in gameplay, I would say.
It's so crazy. That's a very bold claim. Half-Life is a good game.
Listen, Borderlands, the gameplay of Borderlands, is incredibly fun.
I played it as a child. As a child because it's for children and Half-Life is for adults. But, it's a very different game. I don't know what you're talking about. Half-Life has a lot of puzzles in it.
I'm saying at least gunplay and like fighting wise.
Fighting aliens in a wasteland,
Yes.
that's very similar. It is much like that. But I'm so delighted that this has introduced me to Luce's dad as as part of the Yogscast compendium.
Yeah.
I think he's my favorite Yog now.
Yeah.
He's like if you turned early episode Lewis with the shitty mic and his soft-spoken nature up to like 11. It's so funny. I like this part in like a compilation of Lewis's dad where they both reach for their coffee cup at the same time after some kind of joke happens. So that's my intermission. It was a very just unique video that's like, this is insane.
It's
and
so
I had never known
cute.
that he was like on videos. So that's crazy.
That's so cute.
It's funny, it reminded me a little bit of like this YouTube industrial complex of like people like, here's my dad playing a game. I know Nerdcube had his dad play games. I remember him being an old bastard, funny old bastard. Yeah.
Help.
It's time to get back to the Yogscast, and it's a little scary. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Oh boy,
It's terrifying.
They made a
Horrifying,
Sinister
even.
3.1 million views! Hooray! Perfect retention! Everyone who watched the last one, watch this one.
Yay.
Presumably.
including us.
This is part 25. A Sinister Discovery.
Oh.
There's been a slight time skip, just enough for Lewis to type "so" to Old Peculiar as he's distracting. Because remember, Simon said distract him, and Lewis stood there and didn't say anything.
So, how's the weather?
He's in the middle of saying, "It's a lovely village you have here."
Exactly.
When Simon comes up from the crypt saying, I've done it. And then he laughs and repeats, "Oh, it's a lovely village you have here," as he just set a casket on fire.
Oh man, he says something to the I have written down, "That's a very nice everything you have here," in reference to something that he
That's
says.
a very nice village you have here.
There you go.
It would be a shame if nothing would happen to it.
It would be a shame if I went and burned graves in
Simon
your...
goes back into the crypt to make sure it's working, and he's like, "Oh, I may have burnt someone else's as well, but let's not worry about that."
Help.
He comes out of the
Don't worry
crypt.
about it.
Old Peculiar looks at him, and then at the crypt, and then looks back at them and takes a step back as if slightly unsettled and suspicious. And they laugh. Honeydew tries to throw off suspicion by typing, "I just went for a piss. I didn't burn
I
anything."
didn't burn anything.
I have
love that line.
The double text.
I have these written as individual notes. I burned some other bodies as well. Simon, why? I just went for a piss. Thank you, Simon. Totally
Thank
didn't
you,
burn
Simon.
anything. Simon, shut the fuck up!
That's so awesome that you said that, because half of my notes are just quotes from Simon with "Thanks, Simon."
Thank you, sir.
He's a fucking... Simon's such a genuinely funny guy. I know he said a lot of slurs back in the day, but he's got such a sense of like comedy. It's
Really
so...
good.
I listened to him and Lewis on a podcast, The Shaft, and he's so fucking funny. Oh god, I've said like 100 times to these people, but for the audience, I love when they ask like, "Hey, you got any new projects? What's next for the Yogscast? What's coming up?" And Lewis is like, "We don't even really know what we're gonna do tomorrow." To be honest, Simon says, "The movie,
The movie.
Yogscast, the movie."
It's like
It's
AVGN the movie.
He's just got everything fucking like. He's such a funny guy. Oh man. But Old Peculiar charitably ignores Simon's RP and asks, "You're certain it was Israphel?" Honeydew says 100% certain, and Zephos describes the figure. He was pale and wearing some sort of black suit. Simon says, "I mean, he had the name Israphel floating over his head. I don't know how much more certain we can be." Old Peculiar says, "I have heard the rumors, but I never believed they were true."
Oh.
Oh my
And Lewis
god.
says, "Oh my god, old Peculiar. He's living on his own." He looks around at the deserted village. Daisy's gone. Reverend's dead. All these empty buildings.
So funny.
He wonders if there are no other people here. And Simon asks, "You think he might have survived the creeper attack?" And Lewis says, "That's a good question, Simon." Simon says, "Thanks, friend."
I love it. Maybe he survived.
Old Peculiar answers, "No, he saw the body," which has so many lore implications.
Open casket, bro. Open casket.
I was honestly questioning to myself whether any of this was true at all. But if Old Peculiar claims to have seen Israphel's body and seems to have known him, then I guess Israphel really was
I
at
just
one point
wanted to
Reverend John's son.
I wanted to trust him.
That's his, like, Jeff the Killer backstory. And then he, like, punched a creeper so hard its heart exploded.
It's true.
Tight.
So Lewis goes, decides to go check if they burned the coffin yet. But when he goes down to check, he sees that a block of wood in the back... Sorry, these coffins are 2 blocks of wood.
It's
Yeah.
so
Just
funny.
to be clear. 1 block is missing on the wall, and he can see behind it a hidden wooden door.
Passage.
What? All the while, Old Peculiar mentions how there were rumors of John being involved in
Dark
dark arts.
The dark arts.
Dark constructions, even?
Oh!
Honeydew is doing a much better job at trying to distract Old Peculiar by going, "So hey, how's life treating you?" At least he's trying. At least he's fucking trying, though. At least he's fucking trying to make small talk.
Literally so funny.
Meanwhile, Lewis is going, Simon, come down here." And Simon comes down and goes, "Oh my god!" And Old Peculiar goes, "Fire?" Because there's still a fire burning above Israphel's casket. What's left of it. Lewis opens the door, then closes it. He's reticent. "I don't really want to go in there." And then Honeydew says his body must have spontaneously combusted. He explains away the fire. Old Peculiar says, "This bodes ill."
No
Referring
shit,
to
this
the
bodes
passage,
ill.
not the fire. Then Honeydew says, "I didn't burn him," in all caps.
I love that. It's so...
Simon, I'm going to throttle you. Stop incriminating yourself.
Old
It's
Old
great.
Peculiar is so on this, like, track, they can't get him out of it. He's still going on the dialogue train.
They can't back out of his dialogue tree. You know, they went so far. They have to
Yeah.
continue it now.
It was just like, "Do we go?" He starts and stops. Simon's trying to get in the passage, but there was a block blocking the way. They go through, they mine through it. "Looks like the rumors are true," Old Peculiar says. They walk down into the creepy dark stairwell. Lewis is freaking it. He says they should not go down there. Of course, coward POV, as Simon bravely marches into the
Literally.
hall with a blood stain on the floor.
The old using redstone.
Redstone, what are you,
Yeah.
Coach Z?
Redstone,
I'm
Homestar.
sorry, that sounded so mean. Ross, I love
This
you.
is bullying. It's funny.
Redstone floor patch to indicate bloodstains.
Oh, Coachy.
Yes, I'm so
Bloodstone.
glad
As a
you said that.
bloodstain.
The fucking redstone bloodstain is
I
so
did that
fucking
so
good.
much too.
I love it.
It's so true. I remember making a trail of redstone blood.
The
Me
amount
too. Oh my god.
And fuck. I honestly am kind of lost where we're at the video. Did the cool fucking reveal happen?
The door?
What cool reveal, the door?
The door. Yeah, that
Yes,
fucked me up
yes.
so bad. That was honestly like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I genuinely was never expecting like something like that. I mean, okay, maybe I should have, but I didn't. And the fact is, I didn't, and it surprised me, and it was awesome, and it was cool, and I was not expecting that from fucking Shadow of
You're getting locked,
Israphel.
I
in.
was
You're getting
so
locked
excited.
into the story.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally, God. I was like, whoa, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
I can't wait to figure out what's down there. I
Um,
hope that Lewis walks in.
the amount of people
Be so
in the
cool.
comments who were saying, "Simon Lewis, don't go in there. That's redstone. That means you're gonna set off a trap and you're gonna die."
Oh, that's so sad.
That's such a funny way of reading it. Instead of blood,
Literally.
it's evidence that it's. Imagine if it was just another fucking car bomb.
Scary.
Nowadays,
they
I would laugh
they
so
and Old
hard.
Peculiar all die. End of story.
It's so scary.
Yeah, but But to lose his credit, even Old Peculiar is like, perhaps we should head back to the inn and refresh before venturing down. There's weird pauses and cut-offs in the text chat.
Yeah.
Literally.
They decide it's a good idea. Simon says, I'm not ready for this. Lewis says he needs to cook more meat. You have so much meat, Lewis.
He's
What the
so
fuck do you think is
scared.
going to be down there? The wither?
He's eating it to comfort himself. He's just like, chugging the pork. He's like,
As they're like going back, Simon says, let's tell the mayor about this. And
The
they laugh.
mayor.
I would simply
Yeah,
stop
let's tell the
us.
mayor. Is there a mayor? Sheep are glitching and freaking out on the ground.
Yeah,
It's
important that the sheep
I
are
also
glitching.
made a note of that. Strobing sheep clipping through the
And
dirt.
Yeah. Old Peculiar says, I'm afraid I'm all out of milk. And Simon goes, no!
So
Break his heart. Fuck.
one disaster
Yeah,
after
One
another.
disaster after another.
Yeah.
Will water be okay? God, it's so over.
It's so
He has
over.
so much shit in his inventory. God, I can't even bother. That's how I feel about the loose inventory thing. I just can't even bother thinking about it.
Help.
Yeah.
He asks if he can use Old Peculiar's chest to sort his shit out, and Old Peculiar's like, of course, by all means. Simon says using the other chest for his stuff, and he goes, oh my god, the Reverend John, he dropped 41...
Yes!
That was
It was
one of the
literally-
things that it's a very small, insignificant thing, but it's one of those things that made my ARG senses tingle.
Yeah, that had me. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, one commenter said that stands for the Old Testament, that number of books.
Oh, well, that would
I
be
see.
why.
It's a little
His
reference.
Bible.
Yeah, because I looked up. Yeah, I looked up.
That was his Bible, so it was all a trick. It was a lie. He was just trying to
Oh
kill
my
them.
god.
Oh.
This is just like Lost. This is just like Lost.
like
Literally.
Lost.
May I share my brilliant insights, because I did not interpret this as that number being meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
Reverend John just lugging around a whole fucking library.
That is really
He just
funny.
has-
41
that on him,
Bibles
it's so-
on him at all times.
That's a lot.
All times.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't at first register that it was like just the Old Testament. I thought it was like a different, because I looked up just how many books are in the whole Bible, and it gave me 66. So I was just like, okay, is it like a Gideon Bible, or is it like King James edition, which I should have known before, that is like longer than New International Version. I was like going through all these different things, like super overthinking it, because the arg bone,
sense.
Yarg.
the arg bone.
This isn't ARG.
It
This
really
isn't
is.
ARG. So Old Peculiar's cooking pork for them. Lewis hands him more raw pork to work with, conveyor belt style. So how are we gonna cut? What do we need to make a bow and arrow? I made one. Simon says, we don't have any arrows though, I guess, do we? That is the downside.
Yeah.
So that's... Lewis reveals he's learned the recipe for arrows! Gravel's not useless! But they don't have any flint on hand, so they can't even make any arrows.
Yeah.
Aw.
We've got enough for a bow and arrow. Well, just a bow, no arrow.
I love this whole bit of just like only the bow.
21 string, Lewis asks. You've been hoarding that. He's so aghast for no
I
reason.
know. He's like, what the hell?
Simon explains that it was already in the chest. Like, it was in Old Peculiar's chest before they got there. So now Lewis is exploring other buildings, trying to find, like, loot they could use to gear up. He enters the Hobbit Hole house that's next to the church and finds a sign that reads, Death is only the beginning.
ARG senses.
He describes as a bit creepy. He calls Simon at the Hobbity house to see the sign. And Simon reads it and goes, dun dun dun. There's also a crafting house that's just like a cobblestone house with a wool floor that has nothing but a single crafting table in it.
Help.
That's awesome. We should have crafting houses in our village.
I love it because it reminds me of like the villages that they have like nowadays, where sometimes it is just kind of a little house and they have like a I don't know, like a blast furnace in
Such
there. Or
an
something.
interesting block palette for some reason. Wool floor.
Yeah,
I guess carpets kind of ruined that.
Yeah. I said, oh yes, the crafting house. I guess that's what a tool shed is, in essence.
So Honeydew asks, whose house is this here? And says, I don't know how to spell whose. He does spell it
Yeah.
right, though.
Yeah.
He asked to Old Peculiar about the Hobbit house where the scary sign is. And Old Peculiar says, That was where Israphel lived, but Bob lives there now.
I love that. Good
Oh,
Bob.
that made me laugh so much. I went, lol, where's Bob?
Bob? Bob? Where?
So there are meant to be other people in this village that we just aren't here. Also, there are so many chickens in the fountain.
There's
As
so
soon
many
as Lewis sees it,
chickens.
Simon asks, are the chickens pissing you off? There's so many chickens. This guy hates note blocks. He hates chickens.
He
hates C418.
He has no whimsy in his heart.
Not a single ounce.
Hateful.
It's so funny how Simon says, "Oh, the chicken's pissing you off," like it's a normal question about him.
Yeah.
But then Old Peculiar says, "Nobody's seen Bob for a few weeks, though. We're worried." Oh wait, that's right. Simon reads it as, "Nobody's seen Bob for a few weeks, though. We're worried."
There was like a weird pause in there because there's a space in between no and body. So he does kind of like
Body.
space it out a little bit, like no body has seen the guy.
Where is Bob?
Where's Bob?
Where is the shadow of Bob?
Where be
Bob
Bob?
Raphael.
Shadow of
Literally.
Bob Raphael!
About to turn Bob into my own Shadow of Israphel OC and make up lore for him.
True.
What he is, what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
So then I say, why the fuck did Lewis throw eggs at Old Peculiar? I'm so mad. I hate you.
Literally,
Stop
God.
hurting him.
Seriously.
The old egg throwing sound.
That was
It
so
is
Throws it so
insane.
fast. It breaks the sound barrier.
Yeah.
Old Peculiar instantly takes eggs out and throws them back at Lewis. One of them hatches into a
Deserved.
chicken on Lewis's forehead.
Deserved.
Common Peculiar W.
Literally deserved.
The age before baby animals, so a fully grown
A
chicken
fully grown
pops
chicken
out of this egg.
emerges from Lewis's forehead as the goddess Athena unto Zeus. So then Lewis says, "Let's have a break. I need a cup of tea." So fucking British. I hate you too.
I know, that was
I-
so funny. He's like, I need tea, like constantly.
I
Like,
was getting cliffhangered. I want to see. But
literally,
we have
what
to
is your
wait.
problem?
We're
Still,
gonna rest in the inn before descending into the perilous passage.
still the age before bed, so you have to RP sleep.
Yeah.
So sad. RP sleep.
Lewis says he wants to know what's happened to Daisy Duke. They feel they should ask Old Peculiar about her when they get back. And that's the end of the episode. A cliffhanger.
Da-na-na.
What is inside the scary tomb? Where is Daisy Duke? Who is Bob? Many questions we can
Bob, say
anticipate to cover
hi.
next time. And next time, as I said at the top of the show, will be the finale of this series, this leg of the journey.
Yeah.
I'll cry.
It's all going to come
crazy.
to a
It's-
dramatic head.
It's
Not
crazy.
ready to say goodbye.
I know.
There's gonna be more.
I'm like
There'll be
on my
even
toes.
I
And
have.
maybe it'll be an even grander adventure.
Oh my
Boy,
god.
oh boy.
You're kidding.
I have the modern day comments, and Birch has the
Yes.
past.
Would
day
you like to go
comments.
first, and then we shall travel back in time?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, top commenter Kieran Wilcox, for pointing out these videos showing how you can really create these amazing stories in the game and showing the creative freedom that you get. That's exactly what I've been fucking saying for the past, like, several weeks about all of this NPC stuff. It's such a great, like, showcase. Misty Phantom says, they never did meet Bob. True! Where is
Never
he?
met Bob.
He was literally lost to time.
He was at the club.
Chlorozite proposes a very interesting theory. Perhaps Israphel simply fell unconscious, as opposed to dying, and somehow managed dig his way out.
Ooh. Huh.
It really makes me
Really
think.
tickles
That
the
does,
brain.
right?
Birchmere, your
I don't have a lot. I learned that several things in here are World of Warcraft references. Like the name of the name of the inn is a World of Warcraft reference. The saying on the wall is one, and
Oh,
then
wow.
in the graveyard room, it was like maybe a reference. Like one of the name graves was like almost a World of Warcraft character's name.
Oh.
It was like
They
it was
will
like
knock
instead
off.
of like Sir Ash something, it was like Baron Ash something,
Ooh.
He got promoted.
and that was it. Aside from I couldn't find a lot of funny old ones. One that was just a house isn't a home without a cute little needlepoint sign in the living room that says death is only the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell.
Very
I feel
true.
like that Chlorozite one has super old commenter energy. Like, the way it's typed, let me just, like, send it in the chat so you
I'm
can see
excited.
how it was
Please let
typed.
me see.
Like I copy pasted it. This is how it was typed.
Somehow managed to dig his way out.
Oh,
And somehow managed, period, dig his way out.
Managed to dig his way out.
What do you think? Did Israphel somehow manage to dig his way out, or is he like a ghost, like the other guy
I
thought?
think he's a
I just
ghost.
can't.
Ghost.
Gina, everyone, if I may, I just can't wait to get a conclusive answer to this question.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
can't wait till we
excited.
know for sure.
It's really
The
important.
next episodes are
It's
like
really
long. It's
important.
crazy.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot you could say about Israphel. There's like shit I can't talk about, like lore I know about Israphel that's won't be revealed for some time that made me question like whether Reverend's story was bullshit.
Yeah.
And whether, like, Israphel was always, like, some kind of a dark entity and was never a human, but
Ooh.
maybe he is. Maybe it's, like, right here, like, it makes me theorize, like, maybe Israphel, it's like a Pet Cemetery situation where he tried to bring his
Come
son
back
back, but he came back
wrong.
wrong.
Oh, that is such a good
Sometimes
trope.
it's gonna do.
I love when things come back wrong.
I do love me some
Yeah.
pet cemeteries.
Literally. Temporary Pet Cemetery.
It's crazy, the idea that Old Peculiar knew the living Israphel for a lot of reasons that
Yeah.
we won't be able to talk about for tens and hundreds of episodes.
That's so fucked up.
Israphel's house having that death is only beginning sign. I do say maybe he never really was human. Maybe there was like some dark disguise or something.
Literally.
Whoa.
But there's a lot of theory crafting you could
I
do
have
about the
a
shadow
question.
of Israphel, as many people have done passionately over the years, I'm sure.
Do people
your
have
question?
like fandom stuff related to this? I really want to know if people are making
Yes,
animatics to this.
absolutely.
I need to know. I've seen my friends talk about Hermitcraft
sure,
and stuff, and
yeah.
like I know that. I need to know if this is for Yogscast because I need that shit immediately. I
I
need
feel like I've
2012
mostly seen like Tekkit stuff. Like I sure know that there was a lot of Black Rock Chronicle stuff for that.
God, I
Love
need
that.
a
Yeah.
Yogscast. Someone draw that
There
dwarf
was-
crying.
In the I'm fine meme.
I feel like at some point, Shadow of Israphel, they start like showing fan art of people.
Oh, thank God.
I'm
Please,
so
God.
excited
Oh.
for
I
that.
think that starts.
Cracking my
I think
fingers.
that happens. I don't know if it happens like forever, or maybe it's like in random videos they'll just showcase some fan art from Yogs. I don't know.
God
Fan art
willing, there will
downstairs?
be fan art.
People in the comments, if you made it to the end of the video, what's your theory about Israphel? Is he a ghost?
I think it's a metaphor for
did
being
he
in the closet.
just simply fall unconscious and dig his way out?
No
I think
spoilers.
he dug his way out.
Spoil literally
Yeah,
badly.
In
I'm
the
kidding, I'm
comments,
kidding.
in the comments, hashtag
Yeah.
dug his way out, gang, please.
Dug his
Only.
way out.
I think he's
Comment-
Technically,
dug
I'm
his
not
way
even
out if
sure
you
if the
agree.
lore that we learn later would even necessarily like deny the fact that he could have dug his way out.
I like the
I don't
idea-
know if what we learn about him
I
disqualifies.
think he
that
tucked his
theory.
arms up into a ball and rolled away.
Metroid style.
Yeah.
True.
True.
All right. We'll see you all for the finale
Thank
of
you all for
Shadow
listening.
Israphel.
The
Next
Shadow
week, thank you for listening.
of
Thank you for coming on this journey with us. Get ready for the crazy conclusion as they descend into the perilous passage to find the mysteries of Terrorvale.
Too scary.